Hello, everybody. Greetings to all. Welcome to the Snooker Hall podcast. I'm Dan Murren, and once again, I'm not alone. My guest today is one of the most promising young players in snooker. Even during his relatively short pro career to date, he has already scored victories over multiple former world champions. Recently, he made it to his first ranking event quarter-final at the Xi'an Grand Prix, beating the likes of Aaron Hill, Noppon Senkam, the Hitman Michael Holt, and the great John Higgins along the way. This young man's career is going in the right direction, and although a guest appearance on the Snooker Hall podcast is one of the great honours in the sport, something tells me that he will continue to reach even greater heights in snooker. I'm very happy to welcome Liam Pullen to the Snooker Hall podcast.
Hello, thank you for the wonderful entrance.
It's hopefully we can continue on such a
North trajectory.
yes. Let's do that. Yeah. I always like to find out from every player who I speak to, who is your sporting hero,
Sporting hero.
snooker or otherwise. It could be anyone.
Yeah, well, it's probably snooker wise. It's if it wasn't, I always say it. Ronnie's the god, but if it wasn't Ronnie, Selby. So, um, yeah, I do love other sports like maybe a Federer maybe. Yeah, because I like multiple sports. I suppose the one I'm most interested in outside of snooker is F1. That's sort of my. But I'd say that there's not many. I wouldn't say there's a sporting hero for me in F1. But yeah, let's say Federer, other sporting.
Roger Federer, that's a good choice. Classy
Mm.
player.
Yeah, exactly.
Player.
Class.
He's
Just pure class.
yeah, he just looked effortless when he was
Yeah, and in my
in full
opinion,
swing.
I think at at someone's best, I think he was the best tennis player ever. Because there was a period in 2005 and six where I think he had like 96 win percentage in one year and then 95 in the next. And it was just scandalous. So
Was that it? Just 95%.
yeah, exactly. Imagine winning 19 out of 20
Yeah.
every time.
And he made. There were some good players. Obviously, some greater competition would
Yes,
emerge, with Nadal
yes,
and Djokovic,
yeah, yeah,
especially
yeah.
those two. But there were still some good players around at the turn when he really started to dominate. Marat Safin was a great player.
Mm.
And
See, I'm not very clued up on tennis, to be fair, but yeah. Definitely. I think even knowing that 2005, 2006, I'm sure Nadal was on the
Nadal
clay courts
won.
already.
Yeah, he won the French Open 2005, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sure it's five and six, and they were the only two majors Federer lost.
Yeah.
So he'd have done all four if it weren't for Nadal.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay, Roger Federer. That's pretty good. So, in a lot of the players I speak to, the
Mm.
two most common names I hear are Ronnie O'Sullivan and John Higgins.
Yeah,
And yeah, I
yeah,
think they're fair enough, aren't they?
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I'd say
But no,
Selby, yeah, Selby on the.
no, Mark Selby, and he's one of my favourite players actually. I don't think he
Mm.
gets the credit he deserves.
Yeah, the
Four-time world
period.
champion.
Yeah, four-time world champion. The period of world number one, I think, was 6.5 years. It's a joke, and that was what 2014 to 2020 or 2013 to 19, something like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah, he's quite good.
Yeah,
Still is quite good. Yeah.
yeah, he's a
Um,
machine.
so now you have to face players like Ronnie O'Sullivan,
Mm.
John Higgins, Mark Selby.
Hmm.
What's this transition been like? Because let's say 5 years ago, you wouldn't have to play players of this
Oh no,
experience,
no.
of this skill. Like this transition from a junior game to a pro game, it's
Mm.
what is that like?
Well, the biggest transition for me was obviously I wasn't playing those big players all the time, and I never really played them early on. So the biggest transition for me was the amount of competitions I had. Um, at the amateur scene, there was a period of time where it was 26 weekends on the bounce of competitions. But like going into the pro game, there was periods of. I remember my first year, it was the Welsh Open between to the Worlds, and there was only one comp in between that. It was the China comp, and I didn't qualify for it. I'm sure it was about 9 weeks, 10 weeks from the Welsh Open to the Worlds, and I was like this is mental because obviously I wasn't used to it, and yeah, but transitioning to play those big players, I mean, it's what you want to do in it. Um, I'm not scared of them at all. Just got to embrace it, haven't you? So yeah, it's good fun when you play them.
Nice to hear this. And Stephen Hendry, who
Mm.
maybe I think is probably the greatest in my opinion,
Mm.
but he
Mm.
said that there were a lot of young players who, when they and well, the example he gave was Ronnie O'Sullivan, and they're beaten before they even
Yeah.
break off, and like you can't. Like, okay, if you walk in already beaten, then of course you're going to lose. But
Yeah.
to hear someone say, "No, there's no reason to fear them. These
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
humans. Okay, maybe they have more experience than me.
Yeah.
Probably more. They're more famous than me. Fine, but
Yeah, they're a lot. They're more than
yeah,
me everywhere, but it doesn't matter. You know,
doesn't mean you can't win.
I
You got
watched them on telly, and it's great for me to be finally playing them and giving them a game. So,
But you said okay, so the intensity of the tour, the pro tour compared
mm.
to the junior game, is a lot higher. So in terms of like baptism of fire levels, this was like a how do you say it? A splash of water in the face, or a
Mm.
how do you say what's that expression? A bucket of ice water
Oh, I don't
over
know,
your head or
mate.
something.
Talking to the wrong bloke. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, like Mark Selby, I'm talking to him quite a lot more now. He's a lovely bloke, and hopefully get some practice sessions with him. Obviously, I've been practicing with a lot of players now um, since my move down. So yeah, I think I think Selby's just an easygoing bloke. You can talk to him very easily. It's like in China, I was talking to him easily. He's just a nice bloke, you know. He's just a normal human being, same as
He
everyone
just
else.
happens to be
So
really good at snooker.
exactly, I see it in. I think people. I do understand people can get a bit like, oh, he's always very famous or he's special, but at the end of the day, he's the same as everyone else. So you got
Yeah.
to treat him like that.
Yeah. And if you had to pick one thing that okay, you can have people helping you, people giving you guidance, but what is one thing that you cannot prepare for on that transition to the main tour?
On the transition to the main tour, cannot prepare for.
If there is something, you know.
That's a good question. Um, cannot prepare for. Yeah, I don't think you can prepare for the pressure that you're under because you can't specifically practice under that because you can only feel that pressure when you're being put under it essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So like something like I know it's a bit of a it's not a proper comp like people say, but the shootout it's mental. It's like the most nervous you feel all season, really, because it's just so mental. There's no other word for it. So obviously, but yeah, it's extremely enjoyable, and you can't prepare for that. That's one thing.
Well, the atmosphere is different. Crowd's a lot noisier.
Yeah, oh,
But
scandalous.
that time pressure, and once you hear that, boo, boo,
You got to
it's like,
play to it as well.
yeah,
You got to play to it as well. So yeah, it is good fun. It's an opportunity for everyone, I suppose, but some people don't like that.
yeah. I'm a fan of the shootout personally. I think it's actually a really good event.
Yeah.
I think it creates a lot of excitement in the crowd,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
I think it provides a different atmosphere for players to play under a
Yeah.
different kind of pressure. And I think you made a good point there. Actually, you can't replicate pressure in
No.
practice because you know
No.
that if
No.
you miss a shot in practice, okay, you go again until you
Yeah.
feel better about it. I
Yeah.
was watching. I'm an Arsenal fan, and
Okay.
I watched the Amazon documentary. They called All or Nothing, I think they were called. And
Hmm.
that year, Arsenal got something, not everything, but Mikel Arteta during training, he was pumping out "You'll Never Walk Alone," so the players would feel
Yeah.
like they were at Anfield. I was like, okay, I get what you're doing, but it's not Anfield. And
Yeah.
okay,
But
maybe it's a little bit,
yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
not the
Yeah.
complete thing, though, is it? It's
Yeah. But it does that is sort of preparation, I guess. But you're never going to fully prepare, I suppose, for something like that. But that is a good thing, I think, to do. Just sort of little things like that, like in your brain, it still perceives it the same.
But you said
So,
you've been speaking to Mark Selby a little bit. I mean, if you're
mm,
going to pick someone's brain, there's
yeah,
not many better to pick from, if anyone better.
yeah.
Who else is in your corner though, in terms of being a rock for you, supporting you emotionally, if anything?
Mm.
Who's on your side?
Oh, obviously my parents. But obviously I've moved away from them now, so I'm like, well, I live 2.5 hours away now, so it's a more independent life. But yeah, obviously Chris Henry, my coach, um, the group of people around me at Landywood. Yeah, it's great. So yeah, I'm happy at the moment. Yeah.
Well, Landy Wood's one of the clubs that you hear about a lot.
Yeah.
And who else practices there? Ben Wollaston practices there, do
No, no, no,
I?
no,
No.
no. Wollaston's got he practices at his I'm sure it's his mum's club in Leicester. Can't remember what it's called. But I've been there. Yeah, I
Leicester
like
City,
Ben. I
Leicester,
chat to
yeah.
Ben a lot. I chat to Ben a lot. He's a nice bloke.
Mm.
Got a lot of time for Ben. Yeah. So, but other people at my club, you might not know him, but Jack Harris, and then Mark Joyce.
Okay,
So
yeah.
Mark Joyce, ex pro, obviously, but yeah, I'm doing a lot of travelling to play more top players. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. So I'm practicing a lot with Gilbert, Wakelin, Kyron, on hopefully as much as I can. Hopefully Selby now as well. But yeah, Wollaston, Heathcote. Because I'm right next to Leicester. I'm like, well, right next to Leicester, hour and 15 away. Um, it's not far from me, so just get as many games as I can. And there's so many players in Leicester, it's a joke. So
Yeah, yeah. It is
don't
a hot
struggle for
match.
games.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
Leicester might be one of the well, it's not even quietly one of the best sporting cities in the country, because for snooker, it ain't lacking. Obviously,
snooker, it's a
rugby,
hot spot. Snooker,
it
it's a
really
hot
is.
spot. Yeah,
Really is. Football, they've had a bit of success recently. Obviously, not in the
yeah,
recent year or two, but they've won
yeah,
the league, they've won a cup recently. Rugby, they've got a great rugby team.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. But playing against competitors like this, that's gonna keep you sharp. That's
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And it's going to improve me at the end of the day. And I think I've seen an improvement in my game, and I need to just obviously keep on working hard and keep on improving because the work's not done.
so Martin O'Neill said, speaking of Leicester,
Yeah,
Martin O'Neill said, oh, what was the quote? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Or
yeah. Matt
something like
Williams said
that.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay, Mark.
yeah. Matt Williams said that as well.
You can take his
Yeah,
advice with
even though, well,
some compliments.
the bloke you said probably said it first.
Martin O'Neill. When did he say? I think he said it probably about 25 years ago when
Well,
Leicester
yeah,
had
that's
a
probably first then.
previous little spurt of
Yeah,
a little bit of success. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But okay, so this is your third season on tour.
Hmm.
Okay, there are some things that you can't prepare for. What is the biggest lesson that you've learned so far?
Over the 2 years from before,
Yeah, up to now.
um, up to now, don't put pressure on yourself. um, Go out there and enjoy it as much as you can, and see what you can do.
Enjoy
That is
life.
that. Yeah. Well, that.
It's-
Yeah. Sometimes for some people it's different things, obviously, but for me, yeah, that's probably the thing. So obviously, I work so hard on my game where I practice, so it's just all about just giving yourself the best chance to play well.
And speaking of playing well, recently
Mm.
you had your best result in a ranking event, reached the
Yeah.
quarterfinals in Xi'an.
Mm.
You beat some pretty good players along the way there. So Aaron
Mm.
Hill, he's one of the form players of the season.
Yeah.
Michael Holt, very experienced player, wily
Yeah.
operator, knows his way around a snooker table. Lachlan
Mm.
Senkamp, if he gets going, he is almost unplayable. And of course,
Mm.
John Higgins, just John Higgins, that's all. But
Yeah.
you beat these players in succession. That's got to give you massive confidence to show that no, you know what, I can do this. I may be
Yeah.
more inexperienced than these guys, but that's not everything.
Mm.
It's
Yeah. I think especially beating John Higgins, I think that was probably a turning point for me in belief and confidence. Um, and ever since then, I've sort of I'm just know I can do it, sort of thing. So that counts for a lot in your own head.
but going to a place like Xi'an, I've never been to Xi'an,
Yeah.
but to go to a place like this, okay, your primary focus is work, snooker.
Yeah.
But to make it to a quarterfinal of an event like that, knowing the other players who are involved in it,
Yeah.
it's kind of what you were hoping for when 5 years ago, 10 years ago. It's kind of what you were
Oh, yeah.
looking
Yeah.
to
It's
do,
true.
right? It's
It's
like, this is
true.
fantastic.
Like 6 years there, 5 to 10 years ago, you'd have. I mean, I'd be like, what would you mean? What do you mean ranking event quarterfinal? You know what I mean? It's just weird, but yeah, it's got to go further. Got to go further than that. It's not enough.
For what, geography or ranking? Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, that was a bad one.
Bad one,
but
bad one, that mate.
I never said my jokes were good. But going to Xi'an, what do you feel? How do you feel about the travel?
I enjoy it. I think could be in much worse places in life. For one, not even to do with health, you could be sat in an office, and for me, sat in the same place 9 till 5. It's not for me. So even though I am in a sense practicing in the same place 9 till 5, but yeah, I think the perks of the job, going to China, seeing different cultures, seeing how the world is. Yeah, we're lucky in that sense.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of events in China, and I know a lot of fans would prefer to see more events in mainland Europe. There's loads of
Yeah,
fans, especially in Central Europe.
yeah.
Loads of fans who would like an event there.
Hmm.
But being based in the UK, you've got a lot of events kind of close to home. But that opportunity to travel to Saudi Arabia, to travel to
Yeah,
China,
yeah.
hopefully, maybe if you have a good season, get to the Grand Prix in Hong Kong. And
Mm.
this is you're 20 years old. Why not, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think obviously for me, to get into the Grand Prix now, I'd probably have to qualify for the UK's, and I'd probably have to have a good run in Scotland because they're the only two I've got left. Um, Obviously, I didn't qualify for Northern Ireland, lost to Long Xi'an, and then for China, I lost to Higgins. So yeah, two good players, but yeah, on to the UK's next for me.
So that was the international championship, wasn't it?
Yeah, 6-5. Yeah,
See, but even that, okay, the result didn't go your way in the end. But you're pushing
yeah,
this guy. He's won two big ranking events only a few months ago.
yeah,
He's easily one of the greatest players of all time, and we're going to
yeah,
come on to that in correspondence, actually.
yeah,
But you've pushed this guy to 6-5, and you've beaten him as well. Like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah,
everyone's going to lose a match at some point. It's not.
yeah. Yeah, it's good progress at the end of the day. It's good progress. It's you can't win all the matches, and no one ever has. So, but yeah, it's good. It's going in the right direction. That's for sure. I think.
No, agreed. Agreed. But the depth of talent on the tour in 2025 is pretty remarkable, I would say. And actually, just as an example, so you faced Daniel Wells in that Xi'an quarter-final, and then you also
Mm.
faced him recently in qualifying for the Scottish Open.
Yeah.
If you had the chance to switch the results, would you?
Well, of course I
Beat him
would.
in
I mean,
Xi'an?
it's the worst question. It's the worst question ever. It's definitely the worst question of this
Well,
interview, I'd say.
I could see the
uh,
logic in taking the Scottish Open as
nah,
well.
no,
No? Okay,
no.
fair enough.
Get me in the semi-finals against Mark
Definitive, no.
Williams, and then yeah, and then imagine if I beat Mark Williams, then I'm guaranteed on tour for 2 years, another 2 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So because it gets proper, just exponential the points difference at the end of the comp. So what was it, 22 and a half, and then it was 34 and a half if I won my match in the quarters. But then if even if you win that and lose in the final, you're on 76, which is frightening. And if you win it 177, it's just so
yeah.
big right at the end.
Then you're, well, yeah, your place on tours, yeah, it's probably kind of guaranteed for 2 years, really, isn't it? It's,
Yeah, it is simple. Yeah, won't have to play another match.
yeah. And some players don't. Once they have a good run, they don't. So,
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
but less said about that, the better. But actually, do you know what? That's a good segue. That is a good segue. So, got a bit of correspondence, if you wouldn't mind helping me out with this.
Hmm.
And one of them is about players who, one of them is more of a part-time player these days. His name's Ronnie O'Sullivan, and
Okay, yeah.
So this is an email from Gary Galligan. Hi, don't think anyone has said this before, but I'm putting it out there right now. See if you agree. They always say Ronnie, Davis, and Hendry are the three greatest ever. I'm saying Ronnie, Higgins, and Williams are the three best ever to play the game. What do you think, Liam?
Hmm. I think it's very tough to choose three. I think there's a lot of people. Um, I wouldn't say I agree. Basically, that's the short answer. I wouldn't say I agree. I think Hendry has to be in there. There's no if buts or maybes. And you know, I think it, your answer changes because we're alive now. I think if they were both on at the same times, I think comparing eras is very hard. But what they did in their own era, like Steve Davis, he won 6 world titles. So I think maybe because the standard overall from the top to bottom is better now, maybe you can't really overlook that. But yeah, I mean Hendry has to be in there anyway. So I won't want to pick three on the spot, but yeah.
Well, I was thinking about this, and I would say all three. If there were a Mount Rushmore of snooker, I would say that all three would have a good argument to be on there. Ronnie
Mm.
especially because
Well,
of the
Ronnie's in the top three,
fame.
isn't he? He's
Yeah,
in it.
because of the fame, the notoriety he's brought snooker. He has helped the game without question.
Hmm.
But if you put all three on the Mount Rushmore, that means that one of Henry and Davis are not getting on. At least one of them, maybe both,
Yes.
would be. And I don't know if I could accept that. But then it sounds kind of dismissive of Mark Williams and John Higgins.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's fair because they're both. I think that Mark Williams has achieved things that Ronnie O'Sullivan has not. Obviously, now the oldest ranking event winner.
Mm.
He did the Triple Crown in one season.
Hmm. Was that in
He
2002?
2002 3, yeah.
Mm.
And he was world champion
Mm.
before Ronnie O'Sullivan was world champion.
Hmm.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was the first one to come through, wasn't he? Well, Higgins and Mark were.
So Ronnie O'Sullivan won the UK Championship in '93. So he was the first one to win a Triple Crown
Higgins
event.
did he win the worlds in '98?
'98, yeah. He was the first
And
of
then
those
Mark
three to become
was
champion.
2000, and
Yep.
then 2002, wasn't it?
2001 was Ronnie. 2002 was Peter Ebdon. 2003 was Mark Williams again.
So he was the first to be multiple.
Yes, and
I
that
think
as
he was
well,
a
actually, yeah.
yeah. So I saw a comment the other day. I think he hasn't won a major title for, is it like 18 years? No, 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 no. Forget that. Sorry, forget that. Obviously, the world's in 18. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know what the stat was. I can't remember. I'm on the spot. But yeah.
Well, John
What about
Higgins has not won a Triple Crown in, well, nearly 14 years now.
11?
2011, I think it was the World Championship.
Beat Judd.
Yeah.
Mm.
And Mark Williams has won in that time.
Hmm.
Okay, they've been winning big tournaments. The Tour Championship has gone. The
Yeah.
last two have gone to those two.
Hmm.
Didn't Ronnie win that recently, I think, as well? Anyway, but they're not winning the big tournaments, the ones that you
Hmm.
really remembered for. I suppose it's like, I remember years ago, this is definitely before your time, but they would talk, there was a tennis commentator, speaking of tennis, and you're being somewhat of a fan of tennis, it was Dinara Safina, sister of the aforementioned, yeah, the aforementioned Marat Safin. I was thinking, was that during record or not?
Mm.
But she was world number one. She made a few Grand Slam finals, but she didn't actually win them. But when she came up against Venus Williams, one of the greats, Venus took her to the cleaners, wiped the floor with her, and they were like, okay, look, you can win the Hamburg Open, you can win that third-rate tournament, but unless you're winning Wimbledon, unless you're winning the French in tennis,
Yeah.
those are what people remember. And I guess maybe it's the same in snooker.
It's the same in, I think, every sport, really. I think golf as well, the majors. It's all about majors in every sport. Yeah, simple.
Yeah. So, to cut a long story short, yeah, I can see why. I think those three are grouped together as the class of '92 purely because they
Yeah,
turned pro the same year. But it's curious because they're never grouped together as the three
greatest ever.
greatest, only just because they're
Yeah.
kind of the same age. But they're never. Yeah,
Mm.
so it's a different way of thinking about it actually, and
Mm.
I suppose it's hard to say it's wrong.
Mm. I wouldn't
It's
agree, in my
yeah.
opinion. Everyone's got their own opinion, but yeah, I
No,
wouldn't agree.
I would disagree, but I can
Yeah,
definitely see the logic in
yeah,
what Gary's saying there. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Only got two emails actually, but the second one
Hmm.
is from Ray Hanlon. Hi Dan, hope you're keeping well. I'm sure I'm not alone in thinking that the 147 remains a special occasion. I know they are happening more often than ever, but for fans in the arena, it is still the holy grail. I saw Mark Allen's 147 at the Crucible, and the excitement in the crowd made the moment even more special. I don't
Mm.
understand how real snooker fans can say that they are bored of seeing them. Side note, your episode with Alan Taylor was great. He's an awesome character to have in the sport. I love the podcast, and I'm looking forward to from hearing from more guests. Thanks, Ray. Well, thanks for writing in, Ray. Uh, in terms of future guests, I'll bring that up later in the episode, actually. Liam, the maximum
Mm.
debate. Is it
Yeah.
boring?
It's definitely more common. I wouldn't say it's boring because I think if you were to make one, you'd have probably, like Judd said, actually, he said it in a recent interview. He said he gets more of a buzz from making a max than he does winning tournaments. Which for him, he's won more tournaments than he's had maxes. So um, that's not the same for everyone because not many people have won more tournaments than maxes. But yeah, I think even if you have it in practice, it's a great buzz, unbelievable buzz. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's boring. I wouldn't say it's boring. If you're a
It's
proper
hard to
fan,
say
if
it's
you're a
boring,
proper
yeah.
fan, it's not boring.
No, I agree with Ray here. It's not. And I took my mum to the semi-finals of the Masters, Ali Pali.
Yeah.
And it was the first session of snooker that she'd actually attended live. And she gets to see Sean Murphy knock in a maximum in an arena like that. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously, it, it's kind of lucky that it happened, but these are the best players in the world at the moment, and
Mm.
there's always a chance, especially someone like
There's
Sean
always a
Murphy. He's
chance.
so
Yeah.
fluid around the table, and I think it is a good thing because she enjoyed her day so much that I'm going to the final of the German Masters in Berlin in February, and she's
Oh,
flying out there.
nice.
I'm going to meet her out there, and I'm going to watch the final at the German
Quality.
Masters with my mum. And because she enjoyed her day so much, and the maximum was a big part of that, now she wants to go again.
Yeah.
So
And now it attracts more people to the sport.
yeah, and that's just one example. That's just my mum, and she watches a lot of snooker anyway. So
Yeah.
I agree completely with Ray here. I just think those who are it's boring now. It's like no, don't be so cynical. I think it's a cynical, negative way to look at it. And believe me, I'm a
Yeah.
cynic, but I can't be that cynical.
No, no, no. Yeah. Have you ever been to the German Masters?
Yeah, I was there this year, so I
Yeah.
got I got my money's worth that time. And 10-9
In the
on a
final.
re-rack in the final frame.
In the final, yeah.
Yeah, 10-9 in the
Yeah.
final. Kyron versus Barry. And there was a
Proper
re-rack.
venue. That proper
Oh,
venue.
it's fantastic. It is
Unbelievable.
absolutely fantastic. The
Unbelievable.
seats are comfortable. The atmosphere is brilliant.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know, it's in a city like Berlin where even if you're not there for the snooker, there's enough to see and do. It's,
Mm. I think it must be the longest walk on. It must be the longest walk on in snooker. That it must be like 2 minutes. 2 minutes walking onto the table. So you got to pick a good song.
Well, Kyron got a lot of stick actually because he
Yeah, because he was
did
doing
the Freddie
the.
Mercury claps.
Yeah,
And I was,
yeah,
my God, he's just trying to have a bit of fun. I think maybe if you
yeah. The
give me
buzz, the
some bit
buzz
of
he'd hit,
attention.
the buzz he'd have felt from the walk on would have been unreal. Unreal.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's as charismatic as Freddie Mercury was, but
Yeah, yeah,
he's just having a bit of fun. He's trying to give the crowd a show. People so
yeah,
negative about us. I didn't have a problem with it personally. I
yeah,
thought it was, and being in the arena when he was doing it, it's just, do you know what? Why not join in? It's
yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
But
Gets the atmosphere going.
when you get an arena like that, it's always full, especially for the later
Yeah,
stages. It's always full, and you can't
yeah.
say that about every tournament.
No.
But the German Masters is one of the events that, well, from what players tell me, is always, when's that?
Yeah,
Want to make sure want to make sure I qualify for it, and
yeah.
want to make sure I have a good showing in Berlin because
Mm.
we don't have that many tournaments in in mainland Europe anymore.
No, no. Strange, really. That I think everyone. I think after Luca's win in the Worlds, I think people thought, oh, it's going to spike some new interests for new competitions in mainland Europe, but so it hasn't really happened. I don't know why that is, but yeah, bit of a shame.
And well, just to not go off on too much of a tangent here, that was my fault.
Yeah.
The 147. So you say when you hit one in
Yes.
practice. So you do this occasionally in practice? Obviously, you don't do
Yeah,
it all
yeah,
the time.
yeah. I think yeah. It's obviously extremely hard, but yeah, we do it. I think everyone does it occasionally in practice.
That's pretty. Yeah, yeah. You just do
Yeah,
it. Yeah. My high
yeah.
rate's 23, so it's
23. Okay, so you got
23.
a long way to go, mate. A
Yeah,
long way to
yeah.
go.
That was 7 balls though in a row.
Seven.
7 balls in a row.
Seven.
Yeah. So reds and pinks mostly, and there wasn't. Yeah, it's yeah, whatever. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
But actually, do you know what? There is one more point to be made on that. So I was watching. It was John Higgins yesterday.
Okay, yeah. Against Louis Heathcote.
Yeah, and he had the chance for a max, but it didn't work out because he ran slightly. He didn't quite go far enough to get back on the black. He had to move up the table to go for a blue, and I think he was 7 or 8 reds and blacks in.
48 or something. 48, I think.
And you just think, ooh. But then when he went up for the blue, it's just, oh. And
Yeah.
it's just that little bit of disappointment. I think even that is proof that people, well, that's just me, of course, but I'm not bored of it. And
Yeah.
I watch a lot of snooker. I can't be alone in that, surely.
Yeah.
It's,
I think for us players, especially when you're in that situation, I think the thing is if you try and risk playing for the max, you sort of feel like I deserve to miss now because I'm playing the wrong shot to stay on the black. Whereas the right shot is to stay on, is to go up for the blue and make a frame winning break and to make sure you get the extra frame on the board. But like if you're mid break and you're forcing it, like forcing down for the black, you could sort of feel like, oh, karma's going to hit me here or something like that. That's what we feel, I think.
yeah, see, that's an interesting mindset. It's one of the opinions I did hear on another snooker podcast was that players are more willing to take that risk now because they have such confidence in their abilities. No, if I don't win this frame, I'll win the next frame. I can afford to take this risk. And maybe in the past that wouldn't have been the case. It's, no, I need to get this frame on the board. I can't risk it. And I think there's an element of truth to that as a pro player.
I wouldn't say so. I think if that was the truth, they're taking a bit of a liberty because you can't afford to just lose frames like that because they're just so important. So yeah, I wouldn't agree. I would not agree. I think unless they're there and your cue ball control is good enough during the break to stay on the black, then that's fair enough, isn't it? But yeah, at the end of the day, then just cut it short. Just control the cue ball better. That's all you got to do, and then just stay on the black. That's it.
What? See, that is what I like. That's what I like.
It.
It's yeah. If you don't like, it's like when you see in football, the England football team when they lost the Euro final, they take the medal, they take it off straight away. Well, if you don't want to wear the silver medal, play better.
Yeah.
And if you want to get the 147,
control the cue ball better.
Cue ball better. Yeah. And it's my favourite sports movie now, actually, is Moneyball. I'm not a baseball fan. I lived in the US for 7 years and I think I went to 3 baseball games. And one of them was a paid for trip, actually. But I found that movie, Moneyball, I found it fascinating because, and it's that one line that Brad Pitt says, if he's such a good hitter, why doesn't he hit good? And it's true, unless you're doing it, there's something, Anyway, yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Ray, to follow up on your welcome comment, thank you for the compliment. Alan Taylor was indeed a good guest, very good guest, and he's always welcome back on the Snooker podcast. Future episodes, you mentioned. Next week, I will try to get an episode out. I might not. I have the in-laws here, and I'm going on holiday next week as well, actually. And forgive me, Liam, this might just take a minute, but
No worries.
I see from the analytics of this podcast that in the US, one of the states with the biggest number of listeners is Massachusetts, and that's exactly where I'm going. I'm going to meet some old mates in Boston, and if any of the Bostonians listening today know of a good snooker hall in Boston and they want a game against a not particularly good player, then please let me know. I'll also be down in Atlanta. I know there are some listeners in Georgia. If anyone knows a good snooker hall in Atlanta, I'd appreciate the recommendations. But when I come back, there are some special episodes in the File of Facts. Mark King of WST Security will join me to talk about travelling with the tour, how he and the rest of the WST security team keep us safe and organised at snooker events. And I'm sure he'll have a few funny stories from his time on the road.
Yeah.
No date confirmed for that yet because he's a very busy man. He does travel a lot, but that will happen soon. One of the YouTube channels that I enjoy at the moment is Bay's Breakdown. Great content, in-depth analysis of modern snooker. The videos are not too long, but there are some interesting points to be heard there. I highly recommend it. And Tom, the man behind Bay's Breakdown, will join me on the Snooker Hall podcast to preview the Champion of Champions in November. And after that, after the Saudi Golden Ball exhibition event, we have the UK Championship, one of the most prestigious events of the season. After a winner is crowned in York, it seems like it would be a good time to take stock of the first half of the season. So I will welcome one of the most recognisable voices in snooker. Phil Yates will join me on the Snooker Hall podcast for a mid-season review. If you have any questions for Mark, Tom or Phil, the email address is contactus@thesnookerhall.com. Liam, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Really
Thanks
nice
for having
talking.
me.
You've been a great guest, and you are always welcome back on the Snooker Hall podcast.
Thank you very much.
I wish you all the best for the rest of the season. Thank you to Liam Pullen, and thank you to everybody for checking out the podcast, and thank you for listening. Keep an eye on your podcast feed for future episodes. I hope you enjoy the Northern Ireland Open, and until next time, take care.